They say silence has its own voice, especially in places that were never meant to be quiet. My name is Dr. Arjun Mehta, psychiatrist, 38 years old. I was called to an old mental institution on the outskirts of Pune, St. Mary's Asylum, to evaluate a patient who refused to speak for 6 months. Scene 1: Arrival, rain sounds. The building looked like it had been stitched together from old bones and bad memories. The guard told me, "We keep her in room 47, doctor. She doesn't talk, doesn't eat much either. Just writes." When I entered, she was sitting on the floor, back to the door, a notebook in her hand. She didn't move, didn't even breathe loud enough to be heard. On the wall in front of her, a single phrase was scratched over and over. "Find the room with no window." Scene 2: The interview. Arjun: "I'm Dr. Mehta. I'm here to help you." No reply. Her hands trembled slightly, not from fear, but recognition. I noticed the notebook, page after page filled with sketches of a room, same bed, same wall, but no windows, and in the corner, a small boy with no face. When I asked about the boy, she suddenly whispered, "He wants to leave. But the door only opens for you." That sentence stayed in my head longer than I'd like to admit. Scene 3: The obsession. That night, I couldn't sleep in the guest quarters. I kept hearing faint tapping like fingernails on wood. At 2 a.m., I followed the sound down the hallway. The corridor lights flickered. Every door was numbered, except one. A plain door at the end, no number, no handle, just there. I pushed it open. Inside, a small, dim room. A bed. A chair. No window. Exactly like her drawings. Scene 4: The distortion. Next morning, I asked the warden about the door. He frowned. "There's no such room, doctor." "The corridor ends at 46, I insisted. Took him there, but the door was gone. Just a wall. He looked at me like I was the patient. Back in room 47, the woman smiled for the first time. "Did you see it?" "How do you know about that room?" I demanded. Her reply sent a chill through me. "Because you built it." Scene 5: The descent. I started checking old records. No file for this woman, no admission date, no medical history. Even the staff didn't remember her name. Yet her notebook was full of my handwriting, my signature on prescriptions, therapy notes, everything. I stared at my reflection in the asylum window, pale, exhausted, and for a moment I thought I saw her face instead of mine. The next page in her notebook had a single sentence written in bold letters. "You were the patient, not the doctor." Scene 6: The breaking point. Panic surged through me. I ran to the director's office. "Who brought me here? Why am I—" He interrupted softly. "Dr. Mehta, please sit down." He opened a file. My photo, my handwriting, my diagnosis. Paranoid schizophrenia. My mind screamed, "No, impossible." But flashes returned, restraints on my wrists, the nurse calling me, "Patient 47." Scene 7: The twist. The silent woman wasn't real. She was my projection, the last patient I failed to save before my own breakdown. She had taken her life after I misdiagnosed her, and the guilt had created a voice I could never silence. The room with no window was a metaphor my subconscious built, a cell of guilt, where no light could enter. I wasn't sent here to treat her. I had been living here ever since that night. Ending: calm, reflective tone. They tell me I'm getting better now. I smile, take my medicine, sit by the same wall each day. But sometimes, when the lights flicker and the corridor grows quiet, I still hear a voice whispering behind me. Find the room with no window. I turn, and the wall breathes. Soft piano outro fades out.